They say the first thing you put in your body each morning sets the rhythm for your entire day. But what if it's setting a trap? If you're over 60, every bite you take, every sip, every crunch is either quietly building up your heart or silently breaking it down. And the most shocking part? It's not the donuts or fried eggs that are doing the worst damage. It's the foods you thought were helping. The comforting slice of toast, the healthy cereal box that promises everything, even the juice that reminds you of childhood breakfasts. They're the villains hiding in plain sight. This isn't just about breakfast. This is about your next heartbeat. Before we go further, hit that subscribe button. Not just for us, but for you, for your health, for your family, and for a second chance at the kind of morning that doesn't leave your heart fighting to recover by noon. Leave a 1 in the comments if you're watching with intention, or 0 if you're here to challenge what you thought you knew. Either way, keep listening, because what you're about to learn could change your mornings, and maybe your future. Let's start with what seems harmless. Just one slice of white bread with a bit of jam. Sounds light, right? Familiar. Safe. But here's what's happening inside your body. The refined flour in white bread has been stripped of nearly everything helpful. No fiber, no real nutrients, just pure, fast-burning starch. Pair that with jam, often packed with added sugars, even the ones labeled just fruit, and your bloodstream is hit with a sugar surge so fast it might as well be soda. Your insulin levels spike, your blood vessels tighten, and if your heart's over 60, it's already struggling to keep up. The inflammation triggered by that sweet morning habit isn't dramatic. It doesn't scream. It whispers, slowly thickening artery walls, quietly building up plaque, making every beat of your heart just a little harder than it was the day before. I think of Charles Benton, 72 years old, retired mail carrier from Indiana, walked daily, took his meds, never smoked, thought his morning routine was healthy, toast, jelly, coffee, that's it. But he was exhausted, dizzy, his blood pressure creeping up, his glucose, not terrible, but not right. Turned out, every morning for years, Charles had been setting his heart on a roller coaster of sugar spikes and crashes, and no one ever told him. We swapped out the white toast for sprouted grain, jam for almond butter, just half a banana, enough to feel real but not send his blood sugar flying. Within 3 months, fewer palpitations, more energy. His glucose stabilized. Charles told me, "I never thought breakfast could hurt me, but now I feel like I'm finally helping myself." That's the danger. The trap doesn't look like one, and white toast with jam is just the beginning. Let's walk down the breakfast aisle next. Bright labels, whole grains. Heart healthy. You trust them, right? But most instant cereals, even the ones that claim to lower cholesterol or help your heart, are loaded with added sugars, sodium, and refined grains. For a senior's heart, that combo is lethal. Here's what really happens. You eat your cereal, your blood sugar shoots up, your insulin floods in to fix it. But if you're over 60, your body's slower to respond. That insulin lingers. The crash hits hard. Your energy drops. Inflammation rises. Your arteries take the hit. Elaine Carter, 75, walked every day, ate clean, thought her multigrain cereal was her secret weapon. But when we flipped the box, 19 grams of sugar, 280 milligrams of sodium, no fiber. That's not breakfast. That's sabotage. We changed the plan. Steel-cut oats, chia seeds, a few blueberries. Nothing radical, just real food, slow fuel. 1 month later, her blood pressure dropped. The fatigue lifted. She called me and said, "That cereal was draining the life out of me." Think about that. A box with a heart on it was exhausting her heart. And what about what's sizzling on your stove? Bacon, sausage. You can smell it now, can't you? For many, it's nostalgia. It's love. But for your arteries, it's a war zone. These processed meats aren't just salty. They're preserved with compounds like nitrates and nitrites that attack the lining of your blood vessels. That damage doesn't show up overnight. It accumulates. Your arteries? They become stiff, narrow. Your blood pressure climbs. Your heart works harder every single morning to push blood through a system it didn't ask for. Howard Kenny, 78, walked every morning, took his meds, avoided sugar, but he couldn't give up his tradition. 3 strips of bacon, 2 eggs, toast. Same breakfast since his Vietnam days. When he started experiencing chest tightness, we dug deeper. His breakfast, just the bacon alone, gave him over 600 milligrams of sodium and 8 grams of saturated fat before his day even began. His heart was thickening, quietly straining. We made a shift: mushrooms sautéed in olive oil, avocado, 1 boiled egg. Howard returned 2 months later, 8 pounds lighter, more energy. He said, "I miss the smell of bacon, but I don't miss the way I felt." That's what this is about. Not guilt, not shame, but power, the power to choose differently. Because the food that's failing your heart doesn't feel dangerous. It feels familiar, and that's exactly why it's so easy to miss. Let's talk about something sweeter. Muffins, pancakes, syrup. They sound innocent, gentle, maybe even comforting. But behind that warm, sticky sweetness is a chemical storm your heart wasn't built to handle, especially not now. A muffin might look like a soft morning treat, but inside, it's a refined flour bomb. Strip away the paper and what you're really holding is fast-burning sugar, trans fats, and almost no fiber. It goes down easy, but it hits your bloodstream like a freight train. Your insulin surges, your blood vessels inflame, your rhythm shifts. And here's the worst part. You feel fine until the crash hits. You're dizzy, foggy, anxious. You think it's aging, but it's breakfast. I'll never forget Miss Janice Lowell. 81st music teacher, proud grandmother. She came in with mild dizziness every morning around 10 a.m. Her labs looked fine. Her meds hadn't changed. But her routine? Every morning, a store-bought blueberry muffin and black coffee. 1 muffin, 25 grams of sugar, no fiber, no protein, no balance. Her blood sugar was spiking, crashing, then throwing off her heart's natural rhythm, like a ship tossed around in a storm. We swapped it for half a banana, plain Greek yogurt, cinnamon, a sprinkle of oats. 3 weeks later, she told me, "I didn't know something so small could cause such a big problem." That's exactly it. These foods don't look like villains, but for a heart over 60, they are stealth threats. And if you think your juice is doing better, let's look at that cheerful glass of orange juice on your breakfast table. It says 100% juice. It looks bright, healthy, honest. But here's the reality. A 12-ounce glass of juice has more sugar than a can of soda, and 0 fiber to slow it down. Mrs. Gloria Martinez, 74, started every day with a big glass of orange juice. No soda, no sweets. She thought it was her healthy routine, but her heart told a different story. Mild chest tightness, fatigue, palpitations. We ran a 24-hour monitor. Her heart rate spiked every morning after juice. Her vessels constricted. Her body struggled. 1 glass, 30 grams of sugar, no fiber, no warning. She switched to a whole orange with a handful of walnuts. Her symptoms disappeared. The truth? Fruit is good. Juice is not fruit. It's sugar dressed up like health. And that morning coffee, if it's topped with whipped cream, flavored syrup, or a caramel drizzle, it's not coffee. It's dessert in disguise. Mr. Leonard Hayes, 76, retired accountant, disciplined, medication compliant, daily walker, couldn't figure out why his heart rhythm was off. Every day, 1 vanilla latte with whipped cream, 1 treat, 1 joy. But that 1 drink had 42 grams of sugar. It triggered premature atrial contractions, raised his blood pressure, stressed his heart. He told me, "I thought it was just coffee." It wasn't. It was a trigger. And once he switched to plain coffee with almond milk, his arrhythmia improved. His energy returned. Because what feels normal isn't always safe. Now let's open the pantry. Granola, dried fruit, the healthy, crunchy combo that's hiding more sugar than a glazed donut. Granola is often packed with added sweeteners, saturated fat, and sodium. Dried fruit, concentrated sugars, sometimes coated with even more sugar and preservatives. Mrs. Lorraine Becker, 79, started her day with granola and cranberries. Thought she was avoiding junk food, but her breakfast had over 32 grams of sugar. Her energy crashed, her blood pressure spiked, her cholesterol climbed. We swapped it for plain oats, banana slices, and walnuts. 6 weeks later, no more crashes, her pressure stabilized, and she felt like herself again. Even flavored yogurt isn't safe. One little cup, vanilla, strawberry, honey, can hide 20 to 25 grams of sugar, more than many candy bars. Ms. Carol Jennings, 72, was experiencing dizziness and irregular heartbeats. She thought yogurt and fruit was healthy, but her breakfast, 40 grams of sugar before 9 a.m. We stripped it back. Plain Greek yogurt, real berries, ground flax for fiber and omega-3s. The result? No more palpitations, stable mornings, renewed clarity. It wasn't medication, it wasn't more exercise, it was breakfast. And here's the most surprising danger of all: skipping breakfast. You think you're doing something good, giving your body a break, losing a little weight, but your heart doesn't want to be skipped. When you don't eat in the morning, your stress hormones surge, cortisol, adrenaline, forcing your heart to compensate. And at your age, that compensation comes at a cost. Mr. Samuel Price, 82, took a bad fall in his driveway. Dizzy, weak. He was taking all his medications with black coffee and no food. His blood pressure dropped. His glucose crashed. His sodium dipped. His heart rate slowed too much. We added 1 slice of whole grain toast, half an avocado, a boiled egg. The dizziness, gone. The lesson? Doing nothing can still do damage. Let's shift the focus now, from fear to freedom, from confusion to clarity. Because now that you know what not to eat, it's time to embrace what you can. The truth is, healing doesn't require perfection, it requires intention. And breakfast, your very first decision each day, is where that intention begins. Let me tell you about Mrs. Ruby Thomas, 84th retired midwife, Georgia native, tough, warm, determined. She wasn't sick, but she was tired, her blood pressure creeping up, her mornings feeling heavy, her confidence fading. "I just want to stay ahead of it," she said. We started not with medication, but with her breakfast. Nothing complicated, no fad diets, no expensive powders, just real food, gently prepared, food that worked with her body, not against it. We built her a plan, a warm bowl of steel-cut oats, not instant, topped with chia seeds for omega-3s, a handful of blueberries for antioxidants and gentle sweetness. Twice a week, she swapped the oats for 1 boiled egg, half an avocado, a slice of whole grain toast, a heart-healthy fat and protein combo that stabilized her blood sugar for hours. On the weekends, plain Greek yogurt with a sprinkle of cinnamon and crushed walnuts, calming, nourishing, clean. 3 weeks later, Ruby smiled. Her pressure, down, her dizziness, gone, her energy, steady. She said, "I'm not chasing energy anymore. I feel clear. I feel steady." That's what I want for you. Because when you choose the right breakfast, your heart responds. Quietly, powerfully. It pumps smoother. It beats stronger. It carries you farther. Here are the 10 best breakfast choices for heart protection after 60. 1. Steel-cut or rolled oats. High in soluble fiber to lower LDL cholesterol, unsweetened, slow digesting, comforting. 2. Avocados rich in monounsaturated fats and potassium. They nourish your arteries, stabilize pressure, and satisfy hunger. 3. Eggs, boiled or poached, a complete source of protein and nutrients. When not fried or paired with bacon, eggs are a heart-friendly staple. 4. Plain Greek yogurt, high in protein and probiotics. Avoids the sugar crash of flavored varieties. 5. Berries, blueberries, raspberries, blackberries. Loaded with antioxidants that reduce arterial inflammation. 6. Nuts and seeds. Almonds, walnuts, chia, flax. These healthy fats support vessel flexibility and brain clarity. 7. Cooked vegetables, spinach, zucchini, bell peppers. Sautéed in olive oil, they bring life to your plate and strength to your cells. 8. Whole grain or sprouted bread provides steady, complex carbohydrates that won't spike your sugar. 9. Olive oil, a better fat, proven to protect against heart disease when used to cook instead of butter or margarine. 10. Water or unsweetened tea. Starting the day hydrated helps maintain healthy blood pressure and organ function. These are not trendy foods. They're timeless foods, gentle to digest, rich in value, and respectful of your body's age and needs. And the best part? You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent, because the heart doesn't demand heroism. It just needs help. One smart breakfast, repeated often, can change the entire rhythm of your day and the course of your future. So let me leave you with this. Your story is not over. Your heart is not finished. And your next meal is not just about calories. It's a decision to heal, a decision to energize, a decision to protect the life you've worked so hard to build. You deserve to wake up clear-headed. You deserve to walk without wobble. You deserve to feel confident in your body, not because it's young, but because it's cared for. This isn't about chasing youth. It's about honoring the life you still have to live. So tomorrow morning, when you reach for your breakfast, reach with intention. Your heart is waiting, and it still has so much left to give. If you found value in this video, comment 1 below. If not, comment 0. Your feedback helps us grow. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this message with someone you love. Because it's not just food, it's your life. And your next heartbeat is still a second chance.